All right, good day, good people. It's your boy, Alexander Nunez. You're listening to the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast. And of course, it can't be the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast without my fellow junkies starting from the left.
It's Hayley.
And Nicole.
And Shauna.
And you already know what to do. I'm amped right now. If you can't already tell, there's a bunch of noise. There's a party going on. People are pop locking, dropping here at the Be My Secret Anime and Car Show here in Chandler, Arizona. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm like actually excited. I'm like really excited.
I can tell you're really hyped.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming on. You guys excited for the rest of the show?
Bring on the guests. Let's get into it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hectic, pretty exciting. And I'm definitely excited to see who we're going to be meeting here. There's a lot of great characters, a lot of great cars, and
we got some good guests coming on, so
yeah, let's go.
Stay freaking tuned.
Oop.
Coming in live from Be My Secret Cars and Anime Con in Chandler, Arizona.
It's the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast.
Oh, welcome. As I mentioned, we are doing this live. So that's the first time I hear us talking while we were doing the recording.
That's how we've done like a live, non-edited episode. So forgive us of our frailties if we mess up, but it's live.
Tone down the swearing, Shauna.
Dude, I'm going to try my bleeping best.
I was going to offer to beep you whenever.
Just smack me across the face every time.
I'm close enough.
All right, guys. So I don't know about you, but this is my first convention in over 2 years since before COVID, and
my God.
I'm enjoying the
first
energy.
one ever.
Yeah, same actually.
Yeah. First one ever.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You're one of us.
One of us.
Finally, I love to be here.
What are your first impressions of a con?
Well, I mean, I honestly didn't know what to expect. I mean, I guess, I've been to other conventions for work and stuff. Those are a lot more boring. There's cool things and massage chairs, but this is completely different and it's more exciting. I was actually surprised. I was taken away. I came in through the doors and I saw all these cars wrapped up, and I love cars. I love just to see them all souped and have their anime characters. It's some old school cars in the back, outside.
They're looking pretty cool over there.
Yeah, there's motorcycles too.
I literally don't know a thing about cars besides they have wheels, but they look cool.
See, I've been to a lot of car shows and I've been to a lot of geeky conventions, but I've never been to a geeky car show or the blend of the two.
Yeah, it's
so
the
that
blend.
is pretty cool being here and seeing the different types of cars and the different, like you said, motorcycles and
So this is completely different than any of the other conventions you've been to.
150%.
Oh yeah.
But as we mentioned, we will be having guests come in to join us for this episode, and our first just walked in.
She's
Hello.
here. Hi. What's your name?
Alina Masquerade.
Alina Masquerade. You look incredible.
Thank you.
So tell everybody what you're cosplayed as.
I'm Jessica Rabbit today.
Yes, she is.
She's my bread and butter character, the one that started it all off for me. So
I love
How was
it.
that? Did you just watch? What was it called? What was
Who's Afraid of Roger Rabbit? Yeah, no. As a kid, I watched that show and I just loved her, and I thought, oh, she's just the pinnacle of femininity and womanhood, and I'm going to be that someday.
Sassy, sexual, independent.
She's not bad. She's just
She's strong and
Yes.
independent and smart and savvy.
And she just happens to be smoking hot.
Right? She's not bad.
This
She's
happens.
just strong as heck.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Oh, so you do the impression as well?
Not very well.
Want to try for us? I think I'm really bad at impressions. I can
It never
I can
stops
try after
Alex,
you.
though. It doesn't stop him
I
from
know.
doing it.
I'm just trying to swing.
Yeah. That was some ASMR there, too. I loved it.
Okay, so how long have you been cosplaying?
5 years, but 2 of those years were COVID, so 3 active years,
okay.
and then we're just getting back into it. So.
Yes.
Is that new in the cosplay world?
What?
Is that new in this kind of?
It's newish, yeah. There's a lot of people who have been doing it for decades, and then here I am,
This is my first time.
it's
I had to buy a shirt because
Cosplay is for everybody.
I absolutely agree. So Hayley and I like to cosplay a lot. We didn't today. I'm regretting it, but it's so much fun just embodying a character and getting to hang out all day being that person.
I agree. It keeps you young, and it's such a fun community and culture, and it keeps you young, and it's a great way to like get your creative outlets.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like it's a good like catharsis kind of from the day to day, like the grind of going to work and whatever. And it's even if it's just for a day or a night, and you, like you said, embody this other character, step into the shoes of someone that you like idolize and admire.
Exactly.
For me, it's like a huge escape. I love it.
And
that's
it's always,
one of my that's one of my rules too. Is I only cosplay characters that mean something to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've tried doing characters that other people are like, do this character, and you can even tell in the photos and stuff. Like, I just wasn't as into it.
Yeah.
And it takes away some of the fun for me. And so if I'm a character, I have to like have some sort of connection or bond or.
I totally
love
agree.
For that character.
Who else do you cosplay besides Jessica Rabbit?
Ooh, I've done a Luigi and a Mario.
Yes.
Princess Peach. I love like 80s like retro Nintendo games. So
that's awesome.
Like cartoon characters. I've done Rainbow Bright. I've done a couple anime characters like Lukoa and Rem and I can't think of their names off the top of my head anymore, but like, I do quite a little bit of everything. Some Marvel, some DC, some
That's
Disney.
amazing.
Do you do you create your own cosplays, or do you commission them, or is it a combination of both?
I usually I buy pieces and then we alter them and make them our own. And I love to find costumes like through thrift stores and like building things from that.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to commissioning, especially because my sewing skills aren't where like they need to be if I want to be like a Princess Belle or something like that. So, and I love supporting other artists, so I don't find any shame or in commissioning people if I'm wearing something that I didn't hand stitch.
I completely agree. My cosplay a couple years ago was from Sailor Moon, and I don't know how to sew. A lot of my cosplays are hot glue, safety pins.
Those are the best ones.
Right? I was like, I always tell them one strong gust of wind, though, and this whole thing's coming off.
And it's so fun that way because it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going to happen?
Some backup glue in your back pocket.
So what was the first time that you came to a convention in cosplay? How was that experience?
That was really funny. So my husband was like, let's go try something crazy. I'm like what? He's like, let's go to a con. And I'm like, oh, okay. I've seen Galaxy Quest. I'm like, yeah. That was pretty much my what did you call it?
Like nerd repertoire.
Yeah. Point of reference for what cons were. Where I was like, okay, Galaxy Quest, okay. And so I dressed up as like this Victorian Princess Leia. And
that's sick.
It was really fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
And I was looking around going like, this is so much more than like Star Wars and Star Trek and like, geeks. So like there was like something for everyone at that con, and I'm just like, I found my people.
Yes.
And I feel
like
that.
I can dress up as an adult and not have it have to be Halloween.
Exactly. That's it too. You can be sexy. You can have fun with it.
Yes.
And it's not Halloween. It's just this
is what I do. It was so funny.
Who I am.
My neighbor saw me getting into my car this morning, and I get a text. She's like, "Are you Little Mermaid?" Like, what's going on? Close, Disney, Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
She's like. And it's just funny because they're like, so what are you? Like, where are you going? Why are you always in costume? And so we had to tell them, hey, this is cosplay.
We still have my friends and family members that we've been cosplaying, my husband and I, for over a decade now. And we still have friends and family that are like, now what is this thing that you do? And what is this hot? And I'm like, okay, you're not going to get it. Let's just move on.
My dad introduces me as like, oh, this is my daughter. She's a con artist.
She tricks people into thinking that she's Jessica
awesome.
Rabbit.
So who's your favorite character that you've ever cosplayed?
Oh my gosh, that's such a hard one because each one, like I said, is special to me. But I think Rainbow Bright has like a really special place in my heart. Just
why is that?
As a child, like she was my favorite. She was like everything like bright and colorful and making the world happy and pretty and sparkly and I loved being able to design the costume and like seeing it come together, and like that costume came together like perfectly without any, so it was just like blessed. And it just has a special place in my heart.
So have you ventured into the world of social media? Like, are you, because I know a lot of cosplayers are like on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that.
I'm on all of the social media platforms at Alina Masquerade. So
awesome.
You can find me there, my art. And stuff, so yeah. Check me out.
Yeah,
very cool.
We'll do. Well, and we can put all the links and stuff to your socials. And
Oh yeah. We're gonna have the links to everyone's, all of our guests today, so everybody can follow each other. I know we'll be giving you a follow.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, and then shout out your husband cosplaying too.
Is he the rabbit?
He's my Roger Rabbit. Yeah, he's got the sequin ears and like the fluff. And
I love it.
I keep trying to get him to wear a little fluffy tail, but
He
he's
really
like,
likes it. He's like really stroking it.
That's when he drops the line at the tail.
Oh, he dances too.
But yeah, he also does all my photography, so we make a pretty good team.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love it, like, because I just love any sort of creative output.
Yes.
And it sounds like, like you were just taking the time, even like as a couple, as a family, like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We bring the kids in. We've done like a whole Gravity Falls family.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
We've done,
Adorable.
like the Mario family. And so, yeah, the kids love it too. And my daughter was inspired by all the artists at the cons that she decided to get into it. And she's now like amazing with her anime drawings and things like that. So it's just really fun. It's really fun.
Just a family creative outlet. And it seems like it's times like you can bring the kids, and other times it's just the two of you.
Yeah, for sure. There are cons where you don't bring the kids.
Yep.
How does that work? Because again, I've never been to like a con. So
They'll let you know if like it's more for adults or young ones. Like like Mad Monster, like the horror cons or whatever like that. You can bring your kids to that, but like you want to be like
depends on the content,
and how sensitive you are as a parent to what your kids are exposed to.
For sure.
But
some things can get a little more gory, and then other times there's just
a lot of
half-naked anime girls that run around.
But
like here, right now.
Right, absolutely.
But, my kids get plenty of that. So.
I am personally here for it. So.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by and chatting with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Alina Masquerade, awesome.
All right, give it up.
Have fun at the rest of the con.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome, man. I love this. There's like so much creativity like flowing here. I stopped by one of these booths where like this guy was like has his own anime designs, and he puts them on these t-shirts that I decided to pick one up. So shout out to Andre. It goes by No Curfew. I think he's loco.
Nice.
But yeah, like
that's
there's
cool
like
shirt.
Yeah, thank you. It's he says it's a language I don't want to butcher or offend anybody. I'm not going to say what it's written as, but in the back, it's very suitable for today because it's an anime character chilling on the side of a car, and we are at an anime and car show.
Very true. Speaking of Andre, he came over to our booth and handed me some stickers that he said reminded him of me.
Aww.
It's a character he has.
It's this cute little kawaii girl.
Yes, she's got really like white blonde hair, which I don't have right now, but when I get it dyed, I do. So we will ignore that. And then, I could totally see the resemblance, but I thought that was super sweet because it's my first con, and I've never done anything like this, so that was very sweet.
You're welcomed. You're welcomed into the community.
Exactly.
Honestly, that's how cons usually are. It's just very welcoming. Like anytime you cosplay, like you get stopped by a lot of people, and most of the time, every experience I've had at con with people stopping me for pictures is always very respectful. I mean, obviously there's those moments where people can be a little like, just take your picture and be creepy, but for the most part, people like stop you and ask before they do anything. They're just very welcoming because everyone's here just to, it's just a community,
The smaller conventions too, I think like this, are better for that, like for the community aspect.
Yeah.
Because like having gone to San Diego Comic-Con where it's ballooned so, like it's so big now that it brings in all sorts of different types of people and people who are not really involved in like nerd communities.
Yeah.
And when I have cosplayed at events like that, that's when you tend to run into people who don't understand boundaries and don't understand like I've literally been like followed down the street like as I'm eating something or whatever, and people like yelling at me to take a picture with their kid. Like they don't really get it.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about these smaller conventions is it's easier to have like conversations, meet people, make connections.
So this isn't big.
No,
Really?
this is tiny.
This is tiny.
Okay.
I mean, it's
There's
amazing, but
outside, there's an inside. I thought it was big.
I mean,
oh bless you,
I will
sweet
tell
summer
you,
child.
I will tell you that this is bigger than I thought it was gonna. When they're like, yeah, Olympus Games host this thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's super cool. And then I showed up and I was like, oh, okay, and it's like super legit.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a definite legit con, but yeah, it's one of the smaller ones. Like Phoenix Comic Con is quite a bit bigger.
Yeah.
And then you go up from there. So in fact, New York Comic Con is going on like right now. I've been seeing it all over my socials, and I'm like, oh,
Man,
what I wouldn't
I'm so
give
jealous.
to be in New York. I know.
I am excited for LA Comic Con though. The Junkies are going to be coming to the LA Con.
Junkies crash
I don't
in
know
Los
if we can talk too
Angeles.
much about that, but
Yeah.
All right, and we're welcoming our next guest, Brittany. Right? Brittany is your name?
Yes.
Yeah, I
hi.
remember we like stopped by. You had like had these swords on in your table.
Yes.
And you're not just you are a sword fighter.
I am a sword fighter, yeah.
That is pretty awesome. That is pretty legit. Like I don't even think I've ever met somebody that.
I don't think I've ever held an actual sword.
I
So
know.
That can be fixed quickly.
we're gonna fix it immediately after recording.
Okay, I have so many questions. They're like, we're gonna have a sword fighter sit in, and I'm like, hallelujah! And I have a million questions for you. So, starting with, when and why swords?
When swords? I've been doing this for about 10 years now, so it's been a long time. It's taken up about a third of my life now. So, and I started originally in Vancouver, Canada, which is where I'm from. I've only been living in the United States for about 3 years now. And when I moved to the United States, I founded my historical European martial arts school, or my sword fighting school, which is Mordhau Historical Combat, back in 2018. So that's my how long and when and where. Yeah.
So there's a specific time frame and the types of sword fighting you focus on?
Yes, yeah. So what we do specifically is medieval and Renaissance sword fighting from manuscripts that very fortunately for us have actually remained in private collections or in museums. So we have access to them. They've been translated, transcribed, and we use them to determine what sword fighting was like back then. So usually between the 14th, 15th, and 16th century is the most common ones that we use. And we actually do a very specific style that is German. But there's a whole bunch out there. There's Italian sources and Spanish sources, but we just do the German.
Yeah, it's pretty legit too. Like when I was over there earlier, Brittany showed me this book, and there are these things called plates.
Yes.
And there are images with these positions, and in the book there's like it describes how to do it, and she literally just gave me a whole lesson on like how to read these things.
So when you join your school, like do you start obviously ground level? I've never held a sword before. What do we do at that point?
Yeah, that's exactly how it starts. I mean, I wouldn't really be able to run a school if I only expected people with sword experience. That's a very small group of people. Not a lot of people out there that already have pre-existing, experience. So yeah, you come in and we'll give you a crash course, and it's really simple. It's just your basic cuts, your basic guards, and you kind of just hit the ground running, really.
Wow.
Running with swords.
Do you go with swords, or do you have to practice with like sticks first?
Nope. We have swords. We have what we call synthetic swords, which are made of a nylon. We also have real steel swords that we refer to as feathers. It just means feather in German. And we also do like real sharp sword cutting on targets in a competitive way. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to engage.
Do you guys do competitions?
We do.
There's these like national, like how does that work?
Yeah, there's tournaments all over the country, across the world. I've competed in many different countries. I've been competing for a really, really, really long time. But yeah, some people decide that they're gonna jump into a tournament, and other people don't.
So how's the scoring process? Is it like two people fighting each other to the death?
Not to the death, but
How many people have you killed, Brittany?
I maybe jumped the gun on my yes.
Yes, wait, no.
Wait.
This is live, no editing.
No, it's two people. They get into a ring. We have protective equipment so that nobody dies. Fortunately, nobody's died in the 10 years I've done it, so that's good.
Nice. That's a good record.
Yeah, it's a good record, right? So yeah, you get two people in the ring. They have their swords, and it's scored by cuts and thrusts. And there's some tournaments that allow like throws and striking, so punches, kicks, things like that. And the point values differ between tournaments. Sometimes a strike to the head is worth more than a strike to the hand, for example. And you just, rack up points in your allotted time, and that determines your winner.
So, like, what types of people do you usually see come in as students at your school? Like, is it people who are just like, hey, I just want to do something for fun? Like, do you ever have people that need to learn sword fighting for, like, a play or theater or things like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I can't even say that there's a really common type of person. We get all sorts of people, like, all sorts of backgrounds. We have some people who have, like, extensive backgrounds in something like kendo, something that's very similar and has a lot of transferable skills. Other times we get, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but nerds.
Yeah.
No,
we're all nerds.
Us.
Yeah, that's us. Exactly. We get people who are just like, I really liked, Lord of the Rings growing up, and I just want to do sword fighting.
That's cool.
We've definitely had people come through wanting to do stage and like stage combat or theater stuff. That ends up being very common as well. So there's a lot of different people. I couldn't even tell you. Like, we've got all sorts of like really tall people. We've got tiny little people. Like one of
babies, sweet babies.
Just little. Like one of my students, she is phenomenal. She competes and she's hardcore, but she's like, 5'1".
Nice.
She's small. We've got guys who are 6'7".
Dang.
Though she is small, she is fierce.
She is fierce. Yeah, though she be tiny, she's very fierce.
That's
She is. She's killer. She's one of my favorites.
What is some of you mentioned like Lord of the Rings or, being a fan of something. So like what are you a fan of or what were you a fan of to kind of get you into this?
What's my flavor of nerd?
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
When I was young, growing up, I was super into like Xena.
Hell
Xena
yes.
Warrior Princess. That's, I'm 30, so that's kind of like right in my...
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Lord of the Rings, I was really big on that. My dad read the books to me as a kid, and then when the films came out, it was something we did like together, to watch them together, which was awesome. I was really into video games like Diablo and like Dungeon Siege, which is, I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but Age of Empires was always really big for me, things like that. So yeah, I've kind of been like a medieval nerd my whole life.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like karate has like the highest level, I think it's like a black belt. I don't know. I'm not very well known in karate.
Nicely
but
done.
like
Yep.
thanks. But is there like the highest level? What's the highest level in sword fighting?
It's me.
Oh no. Love that. Love that.
No. I'm totally kidding. We're a little bit more informal than something like karate. We don't have belts or anything like that. Only because there's not a living lineage to what we do. We've had to kind of build it again or reconstruct it. So it's really hard to say that somebody's like an expert or a master. And that's why we have tournaments, and because that kind of helps test the skills, right? So, we kind of, HEMA, what we do, HEMA, it's short for Historical European Martial Arts, the community has sort of decided, like, no masters. Like, nobody's a master of it. You can't be. It's not possible. Instead, it's experience and the amount of time that you've put into the community, how you've helped build the community. Have you stress tested your ideas? Have you gone and competed? Have you done these things? And that's how we sort of determine who's up there.
Gotcha.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So where's your school located?
We're in Mesa, Arizona. For anybody local, it's Dobson and Guadalupe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Want to pitch your social media channels and all that good stuff? Where can we find you?
Oh, where can you find me? So I'm on Instagram. I have a personal Instagram with just lots of nerd sword stuff.
Here for it.
Yep. At Saint Leafy. That's Saint spelled like the word saint. .Leafy. Don't ask me why it's called that. It is not a reference to anything particular. It's not. It's a long story about the name. But yeah, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's at saint.leafy. I also have one for the sword fighting school. That's Mordhau, Mordhau. HEMA spelled HEMA.
Fantastic.
Man,
Awesome.
I feel like this is I don't know. This could be dangerous for me and my husband. I feel like this is something we could very easily like spend a lot of money and time doing.
Yeah, that's how I met. That's how I met
you
my
know,
husband.
if it can transfer into lightsaber skills, then I think I'm on board. Yeah.
Good.
Heck yeah, I did that. I did that a couple weeks ago for the first time. I went to the saber group that's over in Phoenix, and I'm like, can I play?
That's awesome.
And they're
It
looking
just
at
kicks
me.
everyone asses.
I walked in there very humbly. I'm like, I don't do what you do, and can I play? And they're like, sure, here's a mask, here's some gloves, and I did my thing, and they were like, who are you?
Who's this Jedi Knight? That just
Right?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just some sword nerd. And so,
Just a local sword fighter, no big deal.
Sword nerd, and they were super cool. So there's a lot of transferable skills there.
That's awesome.
So now it's like, I got to do lightsaber too now, man.
Shucks.
Shucks,
such a
more
shame.
even nerdier than we started.
That's awesome. Well,
That's-
thank you so much.
No, thank you for
Yes,
having me.
thank you. Fascinating.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that existed in Arizona. That's incredible.
It does, and we'd love to have you guys anytime. First class is free if you guys want. Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my
Junkie
gosh, should the Junkies go sword fight?
Yes.
I'm actually down for that.
I think we should absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna work on this.
Set it up.
This is gonna be a thing.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. I
Thank
really
you for
appreciate it.
coming.
Thank you.
Dude,
Guys,
that's freaking sick.
I feel like I'm learning so much about like anime and now sword fighting and like you name it, and it's here at this con.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll be right back here at Be My Secret Cars and Anime Con. Hi, I'm Hayley the Brave, teacher and mom by day, cosplayer and pop culture junkie by, well, also by day. I'm obsessed with all things fandom, and I love to talk about it. So join me and some of my friends as we geek out about TV, movies, music, and all the awesome things that make life worth living. Listen to my podcast, 30 Nerdy and Thriving, available now on all major streaming platforms.
Welcome back. This is Pop Culture Junkie Podcast, and we are still live at the Be My Secret Anime and Car Show. We've obviously just had a couple guests arrive. Alina Masquerade, who is a cosplayer, came in as Jessica Rabbit today.
Yes.
And Brittany from Mordhau Sword Fighting School?
Historical Combat. Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Amazing, and now I want to be a sword fighter.
All right, you guys, is Nicole and I down here at the end of the table know next to nothing about anime.
Yes.
Okay.
School us based on your knowledge of us and our personalities.
Oh,
what
man.
anime would we
Great question.
would we like?
I am always going to suggest My Hero Academia to people. I honestly think it's just so easy to watch, and like it's funny and it's sweet, and there's a lot of intense moments in there too. I mean, if you really want to start like with animes that have been around forever, then I would say Dragon Ball Z, but I don't feel like that would fit with either of you very well.
The first anime that I watched was Death Note, and this was like 10,
Death Note's cool.
12 years ago, and that's the one that got me into it. And it's, you know, there's this kid with this who finds this notebook, and if he writes in it, he like kills. He gets a notebook, and whoever name he writes on there with the description of like their death actually happens.
So he just starts like murdering people, or what?
Well, sort of. It's crazy because he's kind of like caught in between, like trying to like his morals and just like living life, and he's like followed by this demon creature.
Yeah. Demons are very popular archetypes in anime. You're going to see a lot of like Shinigami, so like demon slayers, and which is another amazing anime. And shows like Bleach, where only certain characters can see people from the underworld and have to fight them and to protect the rest of the world who can't see them.
Actually, my favorite demon-related character is from The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh, yeah.
I love that show. It's so good.
Okay, well, I got a list now, stuff that we can check out. Death Note sounds actually pretty interesting. I like the idea of a teenager
People
being
dying.
able to. Yeah. You know what? It's Halloween season.
True.
So
Death.
let's get to death. All right. Hey, you guys, we have another guest here live with us at the Be My Secret Cars Anime Con. And so we want to welcome artist Micah E. Garcia from the Stuck Duck. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, well, thank you guys for having me. That's great.
Tell us a little bit about you and your business and your art and what you do and why you're here.
All right, awesome. Well, this is actually my very first anime con that I've ever been to. And so I usually go to the Phoenix Fan Fest and do a lot of the comic book conventions, because that's Marvel and DC are basically the kind of stuff I do. And I'm a duct tape artist. Ooh. I'm not a crafter. I get asked all the time if I make wallets. I do not know how to make wallet. I could not make a wallet to save my life.
Repeats. Wallets.
No wallets. Please don't ask. But I absolutely love cutting tape. So I've been doing it since 2015. I went to a comic book convention. There was one other artist who does duct tape that was floating around for a couple of years, and saw some work that he was doing, and told him it was just the most beautiful piece of a drawing I've had seen. He said, it's not drawing, it's duct tape. And I said, you gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
So I touched it, and he said, go ahead and take a look. And after that, I was hooked. I said, I think I could do that. I went home, I found my wife's glass cutting board, and bought some dollar tape and some dollar blades. The glass cutting board was a mistake. I ruined it. It was dead. My wife was like, well, whatever makes you happy. So I had to buy her a new one. But after I did my very first piece, I was hooked and started doing more. Did some for my wife, for her office, some Hello Kitty stuff. And after that, everyone started asking me about it. And then I decided to do my first con. And I did my first con in 2015. Okay. I did a con, and it was just the most amazing experience, being able to hang out with the people there, and being on the other side of the table, and being able to talk to young artists and stuff. I'm a teacher. I'm a K-5 music and art teacher at Leading Edge Academy in Gilbert. And so to be able to inspire others, because I can't get my hand to physically do what some of these other artists do, but to be able to take an image and actually recolor it in duct tape. That's my medium. I found out over the years, what am I doing? Am I just copying? What am I doing? Yeah. And I'm an actual colorist. So I do the coloring portion of what people would do to somebody does the drawing, then someone does the ink, and then someone does the color. Well, I do the color, and I do it in duct tape.
In tape. That's amazing.
So cool.
I actually got the opportunity to check it out, and at first, it looks like it's just a drawing, but you get closer and you see it literally come to life.
The detail of the tape.
Yeah, it's very awesome. I've never seen kind of like mixed media art like that.
That's so
definitely
cool.
impressed.
Yeah, I've been totally hooked. And that was the big niche, was the fact that I'd had my younger son have to go with me the first couple times, and he would yell at people as they would walk by, "It's all duct tape," and they would stop.
Like, wait a minute.
They would stop and go, "What?" And then they would come back. I mean, I have it on my banner that says "It's all duct tape," and people still don't understand what that means.
Yeah, they can't wrap
What do you
their head
mean
around
it's
it.
all duct tape?
And then you have to stop and explain
It's
it
almost
to them,
unbelievable, actually, when you see it. But
that's incredible.
Take a chance to see the detail and everything.
And do you do commissions, like if people request?
Yeah, so I do commissions. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram, and I'm under on Instagram. I'm under Mr. G _ the Stuck Duck. Okay. And then you can see all the stuff on there, all the different different processes and stuff that I do. I'm also going to be doing. This is my first year actually doing an elective course at our school for junior hires, and I'm teaching Duct Tape 101.
Oh,
that's
They
wow.
asked me to do an elective course this year, so I'm totally stoked. My kids they're tearing through tons of tape, and they're learning how to do it, and it's amazing. I'm also going to be doing some classes for some of the teachers have been asking me. Some of the adults in my life were like, "Hey, man, we really want to learn how to do this."
Yeah.
So I'm also going to be doing some classes over at Monster Comics, which is opening up a new place off of University and Price Road.
Okay, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
So it's they're going to have a brand new shop there. I'll be doing some classes in there and having some adults come and sit down and learn how to cut tape.
Dude, we should do that too.
Let's go.
Okay, we're going to go sword fighting, and then we're going to take a duct tape art class.
To the duct tape class.
I would love for you guys to come in, check out the shop. It's a brand new location. I can get you guys the information. I'm not exactly sure what the address is.
Oh my gosh, we would love
it's just
it.
it's my hangout place.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the address is.
Oh my gosh, it'd be
but
great.
Then you guys coming in, you guys could do a podcast from there for sure.
Dude,
That'd be
I'm all about
sick.
it. Let's
He would
go.
love to do
Make
that
some
kind of stuff.
art.
And then you guys could. I teach you how to do Spider-Man. He's my absolute favorite.
Yes.
I'll show you how to cut him on intake.
And I am all about supporting my fellow teachers. I'm a teacher as well.
Awesome.
So, we got to, first of all, every teacher's got like some sort of side hustle. Yours is the coolest. This is mine.
Yes.
Yours is infinitely, just as cool. I won't say cooler. We're pretty cool. But
Listen, you're an artist in your own right. My thing was just a matter of, at first, it was just a matter of being able to de-stress.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
totally.
I get to come home after a long day of working with littles, and it's like herding cats. It's kind of hard to do after a while. And so you just sit down. I'm at my cutting table and start cutting that tape, and then everything kind of melts away.
And you said you mostly do Marvel and DC.
So I do Marvel, DC. My middle son is totally into anime.
Nice.
And he's like, Dad, you got to start doing some anime stuff. Which is funny because the original guy that I hung out with, his name was Ducky D. He was the one that I originally saw, and he did some Marvel stuff, but his whole thing was super anime. So whenever we'd go to a show together, he'd have a booth over in one section, I'd have a booth in another. If they were asking him, hey, you need a Marvel DC, go see Micah, he's over here. And I'd say, go see Ducky D for any anime.
I feel like a lot of those fans cross over. Like, I know I like both, so that's incredible. So, I mean, you said you're an art teacher. Like, what kind of art did you do before duct tape?
Okay.
I mean, were you a painter? What was your thing?
Literally, it was... I've done drawings and different things like that, but the thing is working with littles, you basically have to have no skill whatsoever. It's just a matter of can you care for these little kids as they're learning on their first time ever teaching kindergartners was in my mind I thought this was going to be a piece of cake. Let's learn how to draw straight lines. And I'm like, all right, let's draw a straight line. And it took the whole class period to draw straight lines. And I'm like, what is the problem?
It's like, I don't need to be an artist.
It dawned on me. They don't know.
Yeah.
It's their first year. So after that, I was like, this is awesome.
I got a 4-year-old and I can attest. No straight lines to be had.
Nope.
That is adorable.
It doesn't
Anywhere.
happen.
No.
But it's cool to see them in kindergarten, first grade, second grade.
The
third
progression,
grade, the progression of where they're at, and then the connection that I have with them.
Yeah.
It's a deeper level, you know what I mean? And so I really enjoy working.
And fostering like that love of art and of, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's so important too. Alex, I know you talk about this a lot, like just the importance of creativity and creative output, whatever it may be. It's all art, right? It's all, but having something, and I think for kids, especially like who are coming into their own and learning, and they feel like, I see other people create all this cool stuff, but being able to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Is important.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you were able to bring what you like to do into the curriculum and like teach it to kids. Like, I feel like that's really important. I don't feel like there's a lot of schools that even allow, teachers to kind of be like, oh, I have this idea that's totally different.
Yeah, this creative medium that like I know I'm good at and I feel like the kids would have fun with, and like, God, I'm sure like just the tactile learning of that, and just,
and just the critical thinking skills
exactly
that come along with that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Can you make a wallet? No, I'm just kidding.
So listen, that'll be another course at another time after I've tried to
We'll
figure
get
out how to
Nicole
make that
a dress. We'll get her a duct tape dress.
Well, I thought I was a duct tape artist when, I don't know. You guys might be not like older, but obviously I'm younger. So I was like in high school and elementary school when you guys were probably in high school. But duct taping was huge. You would just duct tape your folders and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm so good at this. But now that I'm meeting you, I'm like, wow, no.
Duct tape purse.
Yeah, you can like
seriously.
amp up that skill now.
Yeah. So I'll definitely have to go check you out.
Reinvigorated the love of duct tape.
Yes.
Nicole. All right. So one more time, tell everybody where they can find you when they go online.
Okay, my name is Micah Garcia. I am the Stuck Duck. On Instagram, it's Mr. G, MRG_ the Stuck Duck. On Facebook, you can look under Micah E. Garcia or type in the Stuck Duck, and you should start seeing my stuff pop up there.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This is totally cool.
Yeah, we'll hook up the duct tape class too.
Yeah, seriously,
I'm totally down for that.
It would be
Is the
cool
duct
to do a
tape
podcast from the actual shop.
That's an important question.
BYO duct tape.
Yeah.
Do we have to bring our own duct tape?
No, I will
Okay, cool.
provide everything for you, and I will also have the blank covers for each of you if you guys come.
Yes.
Oh, I am ready.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Micah.
I realized just now there is a game tournament on half of this con too.
Oh, wow.
Dude, and that is exactly like what my husband does. That's honestly how he spends any moment that he's not working or hanging out with me, he does competitive card games. Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, going back to the duct tape, I wonder if it could be like a paint and drink class where we could duct tape and like drink, you know?
She's like, that's interesting, Shauna, but can we get drunk at the duct tape?
I know you would like that.
I am obviously a fan of this.
I had to get out there right away.
I know, you looked eager to say something.
I was.
Can we get drunk?
But wait. Alcohol.
But is there alcohol at the duct tape? I think that could probably be arranged.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the card game tournament, like, you've seen here in Arizona is really legit too. So
and
that's
Olympus
really cool.
Games where we record, they host these card game tournaments like every night. Like what games? Like because I play tabletop games, but I'm not into like card games necessarily. So what kind of games do they got?
So most of the stuff that's going to be here is going to be Pokemon, Dragon Ball Super, and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
So my husband's particularly is Dragon Ball Super. That's what he's really into right now, and he's actually going to the Nationals.
Oh wow!
Yeah, over the winter. So it's this huge like community that you don't even know exists until you become a part of it. Pretty much, it's like you think, oh, Pokemon cards. I collected those when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But like we have traveled to Pokemon card game tournaments in California, and there are thousands of people.
Wow,
there. Thousands. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I mean, I'm all about, in fact, I spent a little bit of my afternoon playing some games with my brother, and so I'm all about that. So do you have to, like, collect, though? Because I remember when I was a kid, you know, kids had, like, binders of Pokemon cards. Is that, like, what this is? You collect all the cards?
So not really.
Okay.
So for these games, you're going to build a specific deck, and most of the time, you're going to spend... you're going to drop some coin on these things. Listen, this is a sacrifice our family is making. We ain't got no kids.
I've seen these decks like stacks,
like a
but
deck
they don't
box.
even sell that much in a pack, right?
No, so you buy single packs. Like, you know, when we were kids, we'd buy packs of Pokemon cards, but that was really just for collecting purposes. Some people do collect these cards just for artwork, but if you want to build a deck to compete, you have to buy those cards individually, and some of them can be pretty pricey.
So is it like hard to find the cards? Like, can you just,
some of them can be rarer than others. Some of them are going to be more expensive than others. You can sell them. Like, we make a pretty good amount of money selling cards too. Like, if he finds one that he doesn't need for his particular deck, he'll sell it online. So yeah, it's pretty.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to play any of these things, but I've learned a lot just watching and listening.
And shout out to Olympus Games for hosting our podcast every week. For inviting us to be here at this convention. It's been a blast.
It really has.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Olympus Games. They've them OGs.
Yeah.
They really are.
We've had a crazy week this week. We were on TV. Now we're here at this convention. Things are coming up Millhouse for the Pop Culture Junkie podcast.
Everything is coming up.
We also went up on the charts.
Yes, we did.
Very much so.
So thank you to you guys, our listeners, for continuing to tune in week and week out, sharing our podcast, telling your friends. We couldn't do it without you guys.
I know. I feel like that episode with Whitney was pretty fire. Everybody was.
I was excited for that.
Dude, yeah. I loved all of our stories, just sharing with all of her songs and stuff on there.
Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, thanks to this whole event. This is awesome. Like I said, this is the first time. I think is the best way to experience this kind of event.
Yeah.
All, like I said, all the creativity, all the different cars, all the cosplayers, the all the different businesses.
I know there's so many local artists selling things here. Like we both bought shirts.
Yeah, and inclusivity. That is my absolute favorite part of cons and convention culture. It doesn't matter who you are. To quote the Backstreet Boys, I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what you did. As long as you love anime, in this case. As long as you love geeky stuff. So
I completely agree. I love this just a concept that cosplay is for everybody. It's like you don't have to look a certain way or look exactly like the character. It's just like, I mean, if you connect with somebody, you dress up like them.
Yeah. All right. Well, then let's just wrap up with our social handles.
All right, you can find me, Hayley, on Instagram at 30NerdyThriving and on Twitter at 30NerdyPod.
You can find me, Nicole, on Instagram and TikTok, Nicole_Eldridge, and on Twitter at NAEldridge14.
You can find me, Shauna, at Shauna Trinidad, Shaunatrinidad, on Instagram and Twitter.
You can find me, Alex, at ALCASNUN on Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Pop Culture Junkie Podcast, Twitter at Pop Junkies, and Instagram at pop.culturejunkies. Don't forget to visit us online at www.popculturejunkie.com, where you can see all of the merch. Don't forget to get some and all the news and reviews that we post up there. And join us again next week for another hit of Pop Culture.
Pop Culture Junkie is a production of Pop Culture Entertainment Group. All rights reserved.